Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to the live show here on Jacob's Aquarium. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys. So glad to be back. It's time to talk about the hobby, the wonderful hobby, the Planet Tank hobby. We'll be taking your calls also on the phone, 323-282-779. If you haven't noticed already, where is it? There it is. The number is right there in the corner, 323-282-779. So if you have a question about the hobby, you need help with the hobby, your fish has somehow been abducted by aliens, I can help you try to find him. So 323-282-779 is the number. So welcome everybody. Hello everybody in the chat room. Oh my gosh, Nick's Exotics is taking over the chat room. All I see is Nick's Exotics, Nick's Exotics. Oh my god. Okay, so hey everybody, hope you guys are doing good. You can also call worldwide on Skype. Just add my Skype name, Jacob's Aquarium, to your Skype contact list, and you can call me from any country pretty much in the world. I believe not in Bolivia though, because their internet is like 1.1 megabits per second. I don't know if that's fast enough to do a Skype call, but I'm not sure. But I'm sure for my Bolivian fans out there, if there are any, you can try, I guess. So yeah, call me on Skype. You can through Jacob's Aquarium. Add that. You can call me from any country in the world, or just simply call 323-282-7779. What do you guys think about this? I got this new mug. It says Jacob's Aquarium on it. Has my logo on it. Isn't that cool? The only problem is when I ordered it, it looked much bigger online. And when I got it, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this can fit, maybe like one less than an ounce of coffee, but okay. It's fine though. But yeah, so it has my logo on it, and I thought it would be fitting, for the show. So, yep, that's my new mug. So, I was thinking about also doing like a merchandise part of the website where you guys can buy stuff with Jacob's Aquarium logos on it. But I mean, I didn't really think anybody would want to buy anything that has my thing on it, because it's like, I don't think of myself, worthy of that yet. I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but I only have like almost 20,000 subscribers. Usually people do that when they get up into like the millions and millions of subscribers. They have so many views or so famous, And so I thought me selling, merchandise would be kind of corny. It'd be like, dude, really? You're like nothing on the internet. But I'll think about it, I'll think about it. But it is pretty cool. I mean, the company that made this for me, they can take any logo and put it on a mug, and it's cool because they wrapped it around the entire mug, which is interesting. So it's expensive though. It's like 11 or $12 for one mug. So ugh, I don't know about that. That's a little too much. So an update on some future projects that we're doing. I tried to include these things in the update videos I make, the channel update videos that I make from time to time, as I just did. But stuff pops up all the time, and I don't have a chance to put that in the video because it happens afterwards. So I got some new projects that might be coming up in the future. For one, the really big one is obviously building the pond on the balcony. We'll be doing that soon. And I already purchased all the materials to do that. So, and I've actually already started filming that video, believe it or not. So I already have some of that ready to go. We're also doing a store tour video tomorrow, actually, here in Riverside. There's a small little tropical fish store here in Riverside, close to my home. So we're going to be doing a video there. And then I got a confirmation from Mark at Mark's Tropical Fish in Studio City, California, about the store tour video that we wanted to do there as well. And he said that we might be able to do it, so I scheduled it for June 14th. And he said might because it might happen, it might not happen, but most likely it will. But so you guys can most likely expect it. I guess I could say. So we got that video that's going to happen with him too. So the pond, tropical fish store tours, lots of new videos, and then also a really big one that I was debating about talking about because it's not 100% for sure, but I'm pretty excited about it because it's probably going to be like one of the best videos that I've ever done, the biggest videos I've ever done actually as well. So I figured I'd talk about it, but just know that this is still in like the planning phase. I've contacted the right people. It may happen, it may not happen. But anyway, so a while back, a viewer sent me a message saying something like, oh, your tropical fish store tours are great. You should go to like the big aquariums, the aquarium attractions. Um, so I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that'd be actually pretty cool if we went to like the Long Beach Aquarium, over here where I live, and do like a behind the scenes tour or whatever. So I thought about that and I thought, yeah, it'd be cool to do a video like that. So I contacted the press department for the Long Beach Aquarium, the Aquarium of the Pacific. That's what they call it. And I didn't think they would respond to my filming request for the show that I want to do, because I'm not a TV show or a filmmaker or whatever as they say on their website. I'm a pretty small person compared to that. But surprisingly, somebody responded and they said, yes, we'd love to do a video like that, a behind the scenes tour of the whole Long Beach Aquarium. And of course, I was absolutely ecstatic about that. So they're telling me that they don't know if they can schedule it, or they don't know when they can schedule it till Monday. So that's what I'm waiting to see when we can get that video scheduled. But if that video happens, obviously it'll be an incredible video. It'll be a whole behind the scenes tour of the Long Beach Aquarium. And I mean, you have to imagine this is not just like one tiny, you know, 1,000-gallon aquarium. This is a whole park, an attraction. They have so many different types of animals here at the Long Beach Aquarium, and so many different tanks and different environments. So there'd be a lot to see. So I just think it'd be the coolest, most interesting video that I've ever done. So I'm really hoping that goes through. So far, it looks like it is going to. So I'm super excited. So I can't wait to tell you guys 100% for sure that we're going to be doing that video. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned to my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, of course. I will definitely make a video announcing that. But yes, I'm super excited because it's going to be the best video that I've ever done, and probably the most expensive as well. Because to do that video, I'm not going to cheap out on it and, just do it, you know, cheaply, like just the cameraman and me talking. I really want to make it a little bit more immersive. So I wanted to buy a Steadicam. If you guys don't know what a Steadicam is, Google it. I wanted to buy a Steadicam so I can get smooth shots as we're walking through the whole park. I wanted to buy some lavalier microphones so I can mic up the person that's showing us around. Just kind of upgrade the quality just so that it's like it's perfect. Because this is a pretty big video and I don't want to cheap out on it. So it's probably going to be one of the most expensive videos that I've ever done. The Steadicam alone is going to cost $600. Deep breath. That's a lot of money. It's going to be one of the most expensive videos and one of the most exciting videos that I've done. So I can't wait. I really, really can't wait. I've been going to the Aquarium of the Pacific since I was a kid. And I never did I think that one day I'd be able to go there, see everything behind the scenes and film it and have this YouTube channel. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So, all right, enough of me rambling on, guys. That's a few updates on the channel and future projects that you can expect in the future. Let's go ahead and get to your questions in the chat room, and we'll also get to get to your skulls. I can't talk today. We will get to your calls on Skype as well. And matter of fact, I just said that, and somebody's calling in. So let's see who's on the Skype line. Hi, Jacob Castro, Jacob's Aquarium.
Hi Jacob, do you have any tips on comic goldfish?
Any tips on comet goldfish? Well, I never had comets before. I've only had like orandas and ryukins, but I would imagine that the care for them is pretty much similar. For one, the biggest thing with goldfish is that you don't want to feed them floating pellets because when they eat floating pellets, they also ingest a lot of air because they're eating the pellets from the surface of your aquarium, which could cause swim bladder disease, and that can be actually fatal. It's actually pretty funny. I saw a picture on Facebook actually of a guy that built a wheelchair for a goldfish. He put a cork on a string and a little piece of material that holds the goldfish. So it holds the goldfish upright because when goldfish get swim bladder disease, they float upside down. Cutest thing I've ever seen on Facebook. But anyways, yeah. So watch out for that. Don't feed your goldfish floating pellets for sure. Feed them peas every once in a while just to clear them out. Peas act as a natural laxative for goldfish. It just helps keep their systems regular and will further prevent swim bladder disease. Also, make sure you have a very powerful filtration system. When I have goldfish, they totally messed up a tank in a matter of days. They produce a lot of waste, which could also cause ammonia issues, all kinds of water parameter issues. So just watch out for those few things. They are really fun to keep. They're interesting fish, but swim bladder disease is a big one, and overall cleanliness of your aquarium is one thing to stay on top of.
Okay, thank you very much for the tips and have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thanks for calling. Yeah, goldfish are really awesome fish. It's funny because some people call them like the aliens of the fish world, and it's rightfully so because I mean they do look rather odd compared to other fish. But I just they're so cool. They're cool fish. By the way, can you guys tell me if you heard that call because I'm not sure if that went through. I hope you guys did because I have this enabled, but ah. Did you guys hear the call? Let me know. There's a delay in the chat room, so it's probably gonna take like 5 minutes before people finally respond to my question. um, yeah, this mixer that I use, I've been having some mixing audio issues, but it's just I'm still waiting for your responses. Tell me if you heard the call. Tell me if you heard a call, please. Oh, you heard it. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess I don't need that channel then. Channel 2 is officially not needed on my mixer. Okay. So, yeah, thanks for the call. Like I said, goldfish, really awesome fish. Just very messy. Very, very, very messy fish. I remember when I had my goldfish, I had them in a bare bottom tank, and I mean, they were just like dogs. They would leave pyramids of poop at the bottom of the tank. It was just disgusting. They are very, very dirty fish. But you know what? A lot of people have, get really into them and have a passion for them. I really don't. I have a passion for koi fish more than goldfish. So a different member of the carp family. But yeah, interesting fish nonetheless. Just swim bladder disease is very prominent with them. So Elliot Holt says, Jacob, what's the best carpeting plant that will cover a tank without CO2? Well, that is a difficult one. That is a difficult one. Usually when you're trying to grow a carpet of anything, um, the plant requires a lot of nutrients. I've noticed when you grow carpeting plants, they tend to suck up every single ounce of nutrient in your aquarium. They're just incredibly hungry plants. So without CO2, you can probably do it by compensating by dosing liquid nutrients and a lot of it. Um, but as far as a carpeting plant that grows without CO2, that is a tough one. Um, the most popular dwarf hairgrass, dwarf baby tears, microsword, pretty much I've noticed they all require CO2. I haven't yet heard of anybody or met somebody or seen somebody's tank where they've been able to grow a carpet of that plant without CO2. It's really hard to say, but one plant that I probably could recommend that you could try. I'm not 100% that it will work for you, that it will grow a carpet in your tank without CO2, but one plant that you could try is pearlweed. Because when I grew that plant in my 50-gallon tall, before I had CO2 installed on my aquarium, it was growing just fine, and all I was doing was dosing nutrients. It wasn't growing as fast, but it did cover a pretty good area, I would say, within about 3 or 4 months. So you could probably make it work with pearlweed by compensating by dosing with nutrients. But just know it won't grow as fast. You'll probably have to, if you, especially if you have a large aquarium, it'll probably take a number of months to carp it out in a tank of that size. In a small tank, obviously, it'll take maybe 3 or 4 months, but in a 50 gallon, 60 gallon, 80 gallon, once you get up into that size, and especially if you have a lot of area to cover, you're looking at probably a good 6 months to a year for a plant like that to carpet out without CO2. CO2 is just something that plants consume naturally, and when you provide it to them, in an aquarium, they just explode with growth. So, you know, I always tell people, if you don't have a CO2 system, just try to do a DIY system. Try to find a cheap paintball tank system out there, something, because really, once you add CO2 to a planet tank, I mean, guys, the difference is night and day. Plants just explode with growth, especially if you have good light. If you have high light over your tank, I mean, man, the plants just grow crazy. So, but yeah, a carpeting plant without CO2 would probably be pearlweed. Try that, see if that works. I sell it on my website. I don't have it in stock right now though, because I don't have a lot of room to grow plants in my tank. Um, but I am trying to grow some nonetheless. It's not that big enough to make cuttings yet. So, but I probably will have some in stock in the future. And that's another thing I noticed is that pearl wheat is pretty hard to find on the internet. Before I started selling it, I didn't find it anywhere. But I'm sure if you dig deep in the internet, you'll find it somewhere on some random website. The way that I actually got it was by mistake. When I was working at a tropical fish store in Ontario, California, when I'm sure you guys know all about that. um, I got it in a shipment from Malaysia, and it was completely by accident. I think I ordered a different plant. I forget the name of it, but they sent me that one instead. So I got the plant completely on accident, and the pearlweed plant that I sell still on my website is originally a cutting from that original plant that I got almost a year ago. So pretty crazy. But yeah, I got it on accident. So I'm not sure where you get it if you want to order it from a business standpoint, because none of my distributors sell it either. So really hard to say. It's a pretty hard to find plant, but nonetheless, I mean, it should grow great without CO2 because it did for me. So try it out. Um, EV Dumenia DIY CO2 system. That sounds really weird. Yeah, it's not weird. No, it's not weird. It's just it's not as good as a pressurized CO2 system, of course, but it still works. For small tanks, it'll provide enough CO2 to get things going. Um, so it's not the most reliable. I'll say that, as well. I mean, that's why I just always recommend people, just try, save some money, invest in a pressurized system, because it's like the best thing you could do for your planet tank. So, number is 323-282-779 if you guys would like to call on Skype, or you can call us from anywhere in the world by adding Jacob's Aquarium to your Skype contact list. It's a beautiful day outside. Let's take a live look outside in Riverside, California. Actually, it's a nice sunny day today. I can't wait to go outside. They actually trimmed those palm trees you see in front of the house right there um, last week, so they don't really look as California-esque palm trees, but once they grow, they will. So beautiful day outside. can't wait to get outside and party, party, party. You know, as you guys know, as I've said before, Saturday is my party day. I try to limit myself to, only drinking on the weekends, only partying on the weekends. So that seemed to work out kind of. So hey everybody in the chat room. Hope you guys are doing good, and I'm glad Stevens W. You're enjoying the show. I'm really glad. That's what I'm here to do. I love to entertain people. The temperature where I am is going to be pretty hot today. I heard it's going to be upwards in the 90s, which is something that I'm in particular concerned about because, as you guys know, I'm building a pond on my balcony, and the temperature issue I've thought about, but I really haven't considered because I've heard about so many people that have done, what I'm doing, and the temperature really hasn't been an issue because it always seems like if your pond or if you keep water in the shade outside, it's generally cooler, than the temperature. Like for example, if you have a pond outside in 90-degree weather, the pond itself is not going to be 90 degrees. So I always figured it wouldn't be an issue, but I possibly might have to invest in a chiller. I just don't know. Um, so I laugh because somebody's calling me that was a troll, and he thinks that I don't recognize the number, but I do. It's so funny. It's so funny. How scary if all that water evaporated? No. I'll probably be installing a auto top off system. I actually already do have one that eShop sent me a while back for a video review. It doesn't hold a lot of water though, and I know that in a pond of this size, because the pond's most likely going to be, geez, like 600-700 gallons. It's going to be a big pond, for you know. So I don't think what the auto top off system I have will be big enough to, uh, you know, top off the whole pond, because I just think it's so big that it needs a rather large reservoir. So I'll have to look into some type of auto top off system, of course, that's bigger than the one I have now. Um, but it shouldn't be an issue. Of course, I'll be checking it every day, so I can top off, manually if I have to. Somebody has a question. Will you be using RO water in the pond? That's one thing that I was really kind of interested to talk about as well. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way, person in the chat room. Yeah, I will be using RO water for the pond, which is kind of crazy. You figure this pond is going to be, geez, 600 to 700, possibly more gallons. My RO system produces, I believe, 100 gallons per hour. I'm pretty sure it's 100 gallons per hour. So we could be looking at 7 to 8 hours to fill the whole thing up, which is a long time to leave water running. And on top of that, an RO system creates more wastewater than it does product water, good clean RO water. So I'm probably looking at using more than 800 gallons or 700 gallons. I'm probably looking at more of, possibly double that or even more. It's going to be a lot of water, nonetheless. The good thing is, though, is that here at my apartment complex, our water bill is included in our rent. So we don't actually pay for water. So we can use as much as we want, and we don't have to pay for it. The thing is, though, is, in California right now, I guess we're going through a drought. Yeah, a drought. I say that because it's kind of, I don't really believe in the drought. But anyways, I feel kind of bad because I'll be using a lot of water and I won't have to pay for every single gallon, of course. But you know what? On top of that, our government here in California has had years, we're talking years, to address the ever growing water problem in California. They knew that a drought was going to happen in California like 40 years ago when the I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure where the Hoover Dam is, but I know it's in Nevada. I don't know what river it or lake or whatever it's connected to. Maybe you guys can help me out in the chat room. But the Hoover Dam, the you know they were having issues with that years ago. The water levels were declining, back then. So they knew that eventually, and I should just say I say Hoover Dam because that's where a lot of water that we get in California comes from. Actually, they knew that there was going to be a drought, um, that would happen in time, a long time ago. So it's not actually something that I think that the residents of California should have to put up with, having having to have restrictions placed on the amount of water you can use, because it's technically it's not our fault. It's not like we use a lot of water and it's our fault that there's a drought. No, it's that our government was too busy putting money into their own pockets, putting money into the wrong places for different things in California that we probably didn't need. Instead of building desalination plants, instead of building water reservoirs, instead of building aqueducts, things where we could, things that we could use to solve the the water crisis, that would eventually happen. So I feel bad using a lot of water to fill the pond. So I'm filling it with our water, but at the same time I don't, because I know that it's not my fault, and our government should have done something about it a long time ago. Technically it's their fault. Um, when you leave things like this, decisions like this, problems like this in the hands of politicians, they never get addressed properly. It's always like, oh, there's going to be a drought in 40 years. It's okay. It's okay. Write my, $100,000 a year salary. It's okay. They don't care. So, Joshua Perry Climber, thanks for the flame moss. Any tips, lighting, etc.? Yeah, flame moss is a great plant, but does require high light, CO2, and nutrients. So if you have that, you will be good to go. Jacob, you didn't do the plant giveaway last show. You're absolutely right, but I will this show. What's the drama between you and Dustin? There's no drama. I don't know what you guys are talking about. No, we did have a little spat back in the day. Partially my fault, I will admit. I did kind of post some comments on his videos, like, oh my god, this is way back in like 2007 or 2007, 2008. I posted some comments like, like, oh, you're too loud, I can't understand you, upgrade your camera, or something like that. um it wasn't anything bad. I didn't like cuss the guy out or anything, but he took it offensively, which rightfully so. That's considered trolling. I did troll, so it's my fault. So he decided to block me, never speak to me again. But I did apologize, because I realized it was stupid to say stuff like that. Um, you know, which is like, I think a lot of people go through that cycle on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, and you know they're really critical of everybody else on YouTube, and then you get to the point where you're like, why am I doing that? Like, why can't I just, okay, somebody makes videos like that, that's their style, whatever, and leave it at that. Um, so, I mean, I apologized, and I guess he's accepted my apology. I don't know. He posted a comment or something saying like, "I don't hate you," on his video. So I guess he doesn't hate me. So that's good. But yeah, the whole drama was partially my fault, because I did troll in his videos a while back, a long time ago. Like I said, 2007, 2008. This was like when I first really started getting serious about YouTube and making videos and stuff. Of course, with my other channels, not this channel, because I started this channel in 2010. Um, and yeah, it was a stupid thing to do, stupid thing to say to somebody, to criticize them on their videos, and you know tell them that they should upgrade their video quality. It's like, because now that people do that to me, they troll my videos. I see how stupid it is and why I shouldn't have done that a long time ago. Which is why you just don't troll on the internet. It's utterly pointless. I mean, I I think there's no reason to do it. Because like people are just gonna ignore you anyways, which Dustin did that. But yeah, like I said, I apologized. I sincerely apologized to him. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm sorry, to shut him up or anything, or to forget about everything. I sincerely apologized, and I haven't trolled anybody since. I just, I just do my own thing, and whatever anybody else does on YouTube, good for them. Whatever style they do, good for them. I'm not going to criticize anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody they should do their videos this way or whatever. I'm just going to let everybody do their thing, and hopefully, people, let me do my thing. Of course, I don't, that's really not the case every day because I get hate comments and trolls on my videos every day. It's just something you got to deal with on YouTube. But yeah, I think that we were all once a troll on YouTube, and eventually you grow out of it. You realize it's stupid. Some people don't though, and they continue to troll for the rest of their life, unfortunately. um, which is pretty unfortunate that the internet has to put up with trolls. So trolls be trolling. Trolling, trolling, trolling across the desert. Oh boy. Will you ever consider working with him? Yeah, I mean, I'm open to doing collaborations with anybody. I am not limiting myself to people that only have the same amount of subscribers as me or viewers or whatever. I'll do a collaboration with somebody that's just starting on YouTube. I really don't have a preference, and I would love to work with Dustin. He's a passionate guy, loves the hobby. And while I may have a different opinion on the stuff that he talks about in his videos, I would still consider working with him. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion in this hobby. I'm sure he has different opinions about the things that I talk about in my videos. So everybody's different, but yeah, I would definitely consider working with him. It's up to him. I mean, it's really not a big deal to me. Uh, the thing I really don't like though is people that for some reason they think that working with other people will somehow, or doing collaborations on YouTube somehow will take away from what they're trying to do. Because I met so many people and talked to so many people and tried to do collaborations with so many other people that have turned me down and told me like, why would I want to do something with you? It's like some people have a really high ego. They want to do their own thing. They don't want to give anybody else attention, I guess. Which is funny because it's like if I'm working with somebody that has 6,000 subscribers, I'm technically giving them attention because I have a larger audience than them, but they think of it the other way and they don't want to work with me for that reason. It's weird, totally weird. But yeah, I'm open to doing collaborations with anybody. I'm not one of those guys like oh I'm a big YouTube guy and I can only work with famous people or I really just I work with anybody, anybody and everybody. We're all in this hobby together. We all love this hobby, and we all just want to talk about it and show things about it on YouTube. So why limit yourself to only people that have the same fan base as you or amount of viewers as you? We're all friends here, and there's no competition on YouTube. The competition thing is it's really hilarious, how some people think that they are truly better than other people on YouTube just because they have more subscribers or their videos are a certain way. I mean, everybody's different, everybody's different. Everybody does their own thing, and it all comes down to what people want to watch. That's it. It's all about entertainment. So You do it for fun, for the fun of it and the experience. Absolutely. That's what I've done since day one. I've never once done YouTube for any other reason besides the fact that I just love making videos. I love the technology behind making videos. I love this hobby, you know. That's why I do it. I don't do it because I'm worried about the amount of subscribers I have or the amount of views I get or, you know, how much attention I get. I do it because people like to watch the things that I make, and I'm passionate about the hobby. And like I said, I love cameras and recording videos and stuff. And, you know, that's just how it is. So, is there a plant sale coming up soon? No. I think I only do a Black Friday sale. I don't do any other sales throughout the year because my plants are already priced pretty low. Any lower, I wouldn't be able to stay alive as a business, to be honest. My plants are priced, you know, at the rock bottom, lowest price that I could price them at. I mean, if you shop around at other sites, you'll notice that, you know, for the plants that I sell at the price that I sell them at, other websites are selling them for like, you know, three, four times that amount. So my prices are incredibly low. I can't lower them anymore. So doing a sale, which would mean lowering them even further, would just not be, you know, a wise business decision. I'm sure you guys can understand that, right? It's not about me being greedy and I want your money. It's about, well, how am I going to pay for bandwidth for the website, and how am I going to pay rent? You know, I'm sure you guys understand. So, uh, a lot of YouTubers seem to get depressed because they think people only like them because they're famous YouTubers. It's so complicated. No, you know, no. Depressed. People actually get depressed on YouTube. I didn't know that. Um, I've never been depressed. I've always, if five people watched my video, I was happy. You know, when I first started this channel and I got, I think it was like 10 subscribers, I was like, oh my God, wow, you know, and I was so happy. And I mean, all throughout that time, I knew there was other channels that had, you know, 40, 50,000 subscribers. I was never depressed about it. I was just glad anybody, you know, somebody wanted to watch my videos, you know, so. Am I ever going to keep goldfish again? Probably not. You know, it's just goldfish are not. They wouldn't work with what I do. You know, I couldn't keep them in my holding tanks. I couldn't keep them in the pond. They would just tear apart all the plants that I have. So you know, it wouldn't work. So, what's the most expensive fish you've ever purchased? That would probably be the silver arowana. Way back in the day, this was when I was probably like 14, 15 years old. I had a 50-gallon tank. I know, pretty small for a silver arowana. Excuse me. I had a 50-gallon tank, and I bought a silver arowana from my local fish store. I believe it was 6 or 7 inches long, and it cost me, I think, $85. That was the biggest purchase, most expensive fish that I ever bought. Um, and it took me, I think, six or 7 months of saving up money that I got from birthdays, uh, Easter, you know, all of the holidays and family get-togethers. In other words, where you can, you know, get money. It took me so long to save up that $85, you know, to buy that fish. I would say the second most expensive fish that I ever bought was a discus fish. I bought two discus fish for 40, I think they were 45 or $50 each, around there. So individually they were, you know, cheaper than the silver arowana. So the silver arowana still ranks as the most expensive fish that I ever bought. But together, of course, they were like over $100 plus tax. So um, discus fish are pretty expensive. They're pretty expensive. So Jacob, would you ever do a saltwater fish tank? I would love to do a saltwater fish tank. The thing is that I know nothing about a saltwater tank. It's taken me, you know, my whole life to gain the knowledge I have to be successful in the planet tank hobby. So I couldn't imagine starting a whole nother genre of this hobby at, at my age. It's like by the time I gain the amount of knowledge I need to be successful in a saltwater hobby, I think I'll probably be like, 40, 50 years old. And who knows where I'll be then. I think, it's, for one, it's just too expensive. There's so many things you need. You need a protein skimmer, a big old fancy wet dry filter. I know people say you can do it on a budget and you can use other stuff, but I mean, to really be successful at it, you need to really have all that stuff. And I mean, the cost of all that combined would be thousands of dollars. And I don't know. I don't see myself investing in that anytime soon because it's for one, the stuff I do have now, I have because that's part of my business. Adding a saltwater tank would kind of be like a luxury, add-on thing that has nothing to do with my business. So I wouldn't be making money off of it. And in other words, it'd be costing me money. And with the amount of money I make now, I probably wouldn't be able to afford that. So it's expensive. It's incredibly demanding as far as the amount of experience you need to maintain a saltwater fish tank. And while I could learn, I just don't think I have the time to do that now, and nor the money to set one up. So, what's your opinion on snails in planted tanks? Snails in planted tanks are well. You're gonna have snails in your planted tank if you buy nursery grown plants. That's pretty much a given. Most nurseries can't control their snail population in their growing tanks or their greenhouses or whatever because it's such a large environment. There's no really 100% way to kill all the snails. So if you buy nursery grown plants, which most of the plants you buy online, unless they're tissue cultured, will be nursery grown plants and will mean that they could possibly have snails on them. As far as what I do with my plants, I'm very careful, with everything. Currently, I don't see any visible snails in my tank. So, but of course, I still can't say that my plants are 100% snail free. As with everybody on the internet, anybody on the internet that sells aquatic plants, no matter what they say, no matter who they are, um, they cannot guarantee that their plants are 100% snail free either because they come from a nursery. So if you want to prevent snails in your tank, it's more costly, they're more expensive, but tissue culture plants really are the way to go. These plants are propagated in a lab in gel growing media, and grown under artificial light as well. So they're they're incredibly pure. There's no snails, of course, on them. So that would be the only way to have a snail-free tank. But any plant that you buy, any regular aquarium plant that you buy on the internet is going to be nursery grown, or even at a local fish store is going to be nursery grown and will most likely have snails on them or snail eggs on them. You can wash the plants before you put them in your tank, as I do. I wash my plants very thoroughly. I spend hours washing plants because, I mean, the shipments I get of plants, there could be 200 to 300 individual plants in there at a time, in each shipment. And I go through like systematically every single one and wash every single plant. I'm very, very OCD about the whole situation, So I do my best to make sure my plants are snail free. But like I said, I can't guarantee that, nor could anybody else on the internet that sells aquarium plants. So um, while you can try to control the snail population in your tank, I mean, I've heard people, use cucumbers and put the cucumber in their tank, and overnight snails will go to eat it, and you can take the cucumber out and throw it away, and there goes all the snails. Or you can use a snail trap, which I haven't heard I don't think that's really effective. Or you can just manually crush them, kill them, suck them out when you're doing a water change. Uh, while you can control the snail population, you can't really get rid of it. It's too hard. There as many snails as you suck out or kill or whatever. There's always like 10 more for every single one. That's either an egg or a small snail, baby snail that you can't see. So it's really hard to control snails in a planted tank. But like I said, if you want a snail-free tank, do tissue culture plants. They're more expensive. You're looking at probably $8 or $9 per tissue culture plant. If you buy, for example, we're gonna have Tropica plants back on the website pretty soon. If you buy those plants are even more expensive. They're about $10 to $11. So they're just more costly. So and Evelyn Dumia brought up a good point actually that I didn't think about. And see, this is why we have the chat room so that people can, bring these things up, the things that I miss. She said, by crushing them, you risk spreading their eggs and other things. And that's absolutely true. So if you do crush or kill a pregnant female, obviously, or I don't know, do males get pregnant in the snail world? I don't know if they do. Uh, if you crush a female snail that is pregnant, has eggs, you will then release the eggs as well, which would just cause more snails to breed in your tank. So, absolutely. Thank you, Evelyn, for bringing that up. You're always very helpful. Julian, hey Jacob, what kind of koi should I get next? High quality tancho koi, taking suggestions. I need a koi with a lot of colors. Well, my favorite koi fish, I would say by far, that is the most colorful, would probably be the sanke koi. That's how they call it in Japanese. Sanke. Sanke. Type that into Google, look it up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Sanke koi fish have a lot of different colors, red, orange, black, white, of course. They're really colorful. They're one of the more um, crazier pattern fish, I guess you could say, in the koi world. The patterns on some sake koi, because they have so many colors mixed in, are just incredible. Um, for a good quality koi, I would recommend buying one from the Sockeye Fish Farm in Japan. If you go to koi.com, I'm not joking, that's the website, koi.com. That's the website for the Sockeye Fish Farm in, I believe it's Hiroshima, Japan. And they sell, they're world renowned for selling some of the highest quality koi. Their koi have actually won awards in many shows for generations, years. The koi farm actually originates from a long line of ornamental fish breeders, so it has a lot of history actually. But that would be the website to buy a really high quality koi from. They do ship worldwide as well. Shipping is obviously going to be very expensive, especially depending on the size of the koi that you buy. I would recommend, buying a small koi from the Sockeye Fish Farm because generally small koi can run about, $300, $400. Anything bigger than I would say 8 or 9 inches is probably going to get upwards in the thousands of dollars. Sockeye Fish Farm koi are just they're like the Lamborghini of the car world. They're really high quality, really expensive, and that's what you're paying for. So, but that's where I would recommend getting a high quality koi if you're looking for high quality koi. And the Sankai koi is the one I'd recommend as far as like my favorite color pattern or whatever. So, yeah, koi fish are so awesome. I would just love to build a giant pond and just house some prized koi fish in there. Um, Unfortunately, I don't live in a house. We try every year to get into a house, but the banks for some reason just don't seem to want to work with us. So hopefully someday. So hopefully someday. Why did I leave? I'm not going to mention the name. Somebody's asking why did I leave my job at the tropical fish store in Ontario. Simply put, it was an abusive work environment. I felt very mistreated by my boss. The way the whole store was run was very unorthodox. The store was run very strictly by my boss, but at the same time, things were just very out of place. I felt out of place at the store. So I was mistreated, abused, verbally abused sometimes, embarrassed in front of customers. not allowed to do my job sometimes, which would make it even more difficult on me. And on top of that, the original job that I was hired for, I eventually, I guess my boss just thought, that it wasn't making him enough money. So he changed my whole job around. And of course, he forced me to work in the fish room, because I was originally hired to do all the internet stuff, sell plants online, manage the website, build the website, do YouTube videos, take pictures, manage the store's website. I was originally hired to do that. Um, but for some reason, my boss just thought, it's time to change this. I mean, I don't know. It was really weird, So eventually, when I was forced to work in the fish room, I was expected to do that job, and then also the job of managing all the internet stuff, which was utterly impossible. You can't do all that, together because for one, when you're cleaning tanks all day, you have no time to go on the internet and do stuff, which meant that I was, doing most of my internet work at home, but I wasn't getting paid for that. And on top of that, my boss cut my pay. I was originally hired, um, you know, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was originally hired for a certain amount when I first started. We'll just say that certain amount. And then my boss decided to cut my pay to more than half of that, or less than half of that, I should say. So I was incredibly underpaid for what I did. And like I said, it was an abusive work environment, and it just wasn't the place for me. I really thought, I really think that with that store, all the passion, the fun, the excitement, all of that was lost, and it was simply just a place where we're here to make money and that's it. And that's all that was cared about. The quality of customer service, the quality of the overall experience visiting the store was not of importance to my boss. I didn't feel comfortable working there. It was simply put, it was just not the place for me. And ever since I left, which was almost a year ago, I have been so happy. And in part, I'm actually kind of glad that I was abused, mistreated, talked down to by my boss, literally made to feel like I was the most lowest, stupidest form of human life in the world. Because if that wasn't the case, I would have never started my website. I would have never started my business. And, my business has grown incredibly and, has gained, in popularity, a lot. And it's become very successful. So in part, I'm actually glad that all that happened, because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have created jacobsaquarium.com and done all this stuff, and truly I wouldn't have been able to have all the stuff that I have now, and do this show, even because the what I'm using to do the show, I've purchased and been able to have because of my website. So while it was an incredibly stressful, ridiculous, really hectic 8 months that I worked there, it was all, as I say, everything happens for a reason. And this did happen for a reason, because I'm here now talking to you. So that's why I left. Long answer, I know, but that's why I left. Jacob, what is the best freshwater fish you look after that I look after? I don't know what you mean by look after, but um, that I look after. I guess you mean that I admire? Okay, I would say the Asian arowana is one that I admire. So, Reef Kid 14, I remember getting shipped around 10 dead African cichlids, and it was hard getting a refund. You know what? That was the most frustrating part of the job, was not being able to run the business exactly how I wanted to run it. I had to run the business based on how my boss wanted me to run it, which was, like I said, incredibly unorthodox. I was not allowed to give refunds to people if they received dead stuff, which is like, that's mind blowing. You want to give somebody their money back if they receive dead product, but I was not allowed to do that. I was not allowed to refund the shipping as well. which that was kind of understandable. But at the same time, the reason why the fish died was because I wasn't allowed to pack the fish as I wanted to pack them, so they weren't packaged properly. So, it's just since I had no control, I had no control. I couldn't do things properly because I wasn't given the right amount of resources or the proper resources to do so. The job just didn't work, and that's why we had issues with customers as well. And in fact, a lot of issues, and I never have said this, but I apologize on behalf of all that stuff that happened, almost a year ago when I worked at the fish store, for anybody, that had a bad experience shopping with us. But just know I was under somebody else's thumb. I had no control pretty much of the job that I did. But see, now that I do, now that I run my own business, I can control, customer service, things like that. While I have had a few bumps in the road, I've learned from that. I would say that it's so much better. When people get a dead plant from me, automatically refunded, automatically get a refund, or I send them a free replacement. Anything. I work with my customers, which I'm glad I'm able to do now because before when I worked for somebody else, I wasn't because, like I said, I was under their thumb. But I'm doing this on my own now, and I have so much more control, and I'm able to, keep up the quality of my business, my customer service, and just make sure things are done properly and like they're supposed to, properly like they're supposed to. Thing. So. Man, lots of good discussions today, guys. Jeez, you guys really got a lot out of me. I don't think I've ever talked so deeply in my entire life than this show. This is going to be a great show for those of you watching the pre-recorded version when it's uploaded later. Really deep discussions. Jeez, I'm gonna need a beer after this. I'm stressed out. Which be- which substrate is the best for African cichlids? Sand would probably be the best. It looks more natural. It kind of mimics the natural environment that cichlids are in. For cichlids from Lake Malawi and other lakes in Africa. I believe that's what the bottom of Lake Malawi is. I believe it's some type of sand. So sand would look natural. I think cichlids actually like sand because it's easier for them to build their little mounds, that they build, or those little holes, whatever you call it. Um, so yeah, sand. Somebody's actually recommending crushed coral. I don't know about that. I guess you could try that, but I would recommend sand. Because that's what I had when I had a cichlid tank, and I think it looked pretty cool. And also, cichlid fish are one of the more colorful fish that you buy in the freshwater hobby if you're somebody that can't afford the saltwater hobby. Because people always say that, like, oh, the saltwater hobby has all these amazing, beautifully colored fish, and in the freshwater hobby, the colors of the fish are so dull and boring. So a lot of people buy cichlids because they are freshwater fish. They're easier to keep. They're cheaper to keep than a saltwater tank, and they can still get all those colors. So to really mimic a saltwater system, using sand or, as somebody said in the chat room, crushed coral, along with cichlids, it really does look like a saltwater tank. So you could really get the same effect. Somebody's also saying that crushed coral raises pH. Another thing to consider, some substrates that you use can affect your water parameters. Uh, the sand that I use, which was silica sand, it's actually the sand that I have in both my holding tanks now, has not altered my water parameters in any way. So I would say instead of crushed coral, since somebody's saying it does raise your pH, try silica sand or something else, that doesn't alter your water parameters. Because I know while cichlids are easy to keep, you kind of have to be strict with their water parameters because they can get kind of sensitive to ammonia, pH, water hardness, stuff like that. So, just try. So what? Okay. Jacob, do you like gouramis? Yes, I do. the red dwarf fire Grammys are my favorite. Also, the blue powder Grammys are my favorite as well. I think Grammys are really cool fish because they're colorful. You know, another colorful fish that is awesome. So, how do you stop water evaporation in your tanks? Well, in my tanks, I don't. As you can see, all my tanks are open. I don't have any glass top or anything, and for a good reason because it kind of diminishes light penetration into the tank. So I don't have a glass top, but I don't really have a way of managing water evaporation. I just top off my tanks every now and then. I try to keep this room though open and aerated so that mold doesn't start to grow because a lot of water evaporating and that could happen. So um, that's what I try to do. So all right, guys. Well, it is time. The time has come. It is the end of the show. I would like to thank everybody so much for watching today. It really, really means a lot to me. You know, I do this show every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's so fun communicating with you guys and seeing you guys live in the chat room. So come back. We'll be live again next Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on my YouTube channel. A lot of people ask me, where can I watch your show? And that's all you got to do. You go to the main page of my YouTube channel, and you'll see my live feed right there. Okay, so I've had a great show today, guys, with you guys. Thank you for all your questions. As I said before, really, really deep discussions. You guys got a lot out of me this time, but it's been interesting. It's been fun, and it's just a lot of talking, a lot that we talked about. So, all right, it is time to do the giveaway. As you guys know, I do a plant giveaway every week on this show. We did miss last week, and I apologize for that, but we will do it this week. So, I'm going to go to my most recent video and see how many comments I have. I have 14 comments, so we're going to go to the random number generator. Type in 14, and the random number generator is going to pick a number between 1 to 14, and that'll be the person that wins. So here we go. Random number generator, generate. And the number is 13. Okay, so let's go to the video, go to the comment section, and go to the 13th comment. We'll do newest first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? It only says there was 11. Oh, there it is. 11. Oh, wait, no. It only says that there was 11. What? Okay, let's do it again. Oh my gosh. YouTube just... See, YouTube is not counting all the comments properly. What's going on, YouTube? Okay, let's do the random number generator again for a number between 1 and 11. Okay, random number generator, generate. Okay, the number is 9. So let's go to the 9th comment down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The winner of the free plant for this week, the giveaway here on Jacob's Aquarium, the live show is Banu Blaze. BHANU Thank you. He left a comment that said, as always, you are the best. Thank you so much for your comment. And congratulations for winning this week's free plant for the free plant giveaway. So I will be contacting you to get your shipping information, and we'll be shipping your free plant on Monday. All right, guys. Well, it's been incredibly fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this live show here on Jacob's Aquarium. And I will see you guys next Saturday, same time, same place. Have fun with your tanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time.